Hello, friends. So here's the thing. I'm Amanda. I'm doing this little video chat to share with you some of what I've learned over a couple of years of kind of obsessing about positive psychology and learning about it. And I'm dropping in some little strategies during a really difficult time for a lot of us that may help you cope, may help improve your outlook. And I just want to do that to contribute because our brains feel better when we're helping others. And this is my way of doing that. If you want to know the actual sources where this came from, I've put a document in the description that will give you all of my favorite sources, some things to read, some things to watch, some things to listen to. And I would encourage you to, if you're interested, dig around in that and see what else you might want to learn. I'm not an expert. I'm not even good at the things that I've learned yet. We're all learning and practicing together. This is not overnight bliss. This is a journey of things that experts have said, if we will incorporate them, there's science that shows that this can improve our outlook and outlook of those around us. And I'm just synthesizing and regurgitating some of that science for you in little bite-sized bits, so you don't have to obsess about it unless you like to do that. And this is a perfect time to, so have fun. Today I wanted to talk about strengths. I read Strengths-Based Leadership and did StrengthsFinder several years ago and had the opportunity to go through kind of an extended workshop on that. It was a wonderful experience. And then this week, I started a Yale course taught by Laurie Santos, who also hosts the Happiness Lab podcast, which I could not recommend more. It's a great inroad to this. And in her course, which is also linked, in her course, strengths is one of the first things that she starts with. And she gave me even some cooler resources than I already had. And I just got jazzed and got started and thought that this would be a good thing to talk about today. So the idea behind strengths is that if we attempt to get better at the things that we're already good at, it has a much greater impact both on how good we are at things and our outlook than if we try to fix deficits or things that we don't think that we're good at. So if you will discover, in whatever way works for you, things that you feel are strengths for you about how you lead, about how you undertake life in general, and then focus specifically on things that make that better or experimenting with it in different ways, then it will balance out a lot of what our brain is doing. There's a lot of research that will tell us that negative experiences impact us more than positive ones. You can prove that to yourself by just thinking about the last 5 years and going, what do I remember over the last 5 years? And for most people, a lot more negative or a lot more detail about the negative experiences rises to the surface. So this gives yourself like a balance to that by specifically focusing in on something positive and reinforcing that by doing and practicing, and really can balance out some of that negativity and self-criticism that, if you're like me, your brain is on a loop repeating if I let it. So the MicroChoose works like this. You take a quiz or identify your strengths. I've linked the quiz that Laurie Santos has in her class in the description, and it is fantastic. You can also access the list of strengths there without taking a quiz, but I really recommend the quiz because it's cool. And then you pick one of your top 5. So I picked number 2 for me this week, and it was creativity. And I do think of myself as a creative person, but that tends to get sidelined by a lot of the things that I do. And I thought that this would be a good time to play with it. So pick something you want to play with, and do something different every day that really kind of hones in on that single skill. So for example, for me, this week so far, I have made surgical masks, which I haven't sewed in a long time. And so that was really kind of challenging to get my hands back into that and figure out how it worked. I stretched way out of my comfort zone and made some art. And my daughter and I turned footprints into Disney princesses, and I'm kind of proud of them. I like them. So that was fun for both of us. I reorganized a closet using containers and things that I already had on hand in other parts of the house. And so really looking at how to use something in a different way and then also make that space beautiful was important to me, and that was fun. So there's a few more things on the docket this week. My time with creativity is not over. I'm going to reorganize some pictures on the wall, and I'm also just going to leave a little wiggle room because, I'm creative. Something's going to come up and I'm going to be like, I'm going to do that today. So I'm amplifying the effect of that micro choice by writing it just on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday journal, and just writing 2 sentences about what I did that was more creative and how it made me feel, and how I might incorporate doing that again. Just reflecting on it a minute, you can amplify that even more and key into the fact that happiness is a social animal. If you call and tell somebody about what you're doing, ask them what they think they're good at, and improve their outlook while you're at it. So give it a try. I highly encourage the quiz on the VIA website. I had not encountered it before, and it's just terrific. So last week when I made my first video cast, I did tell you that I thought that there were 3 kind of cornerstones to the research on happiness. 1 is that it's a huge advantage. 2 is that it's a social animal. And 3 is that we have control over it, or at least some control over it. And I just want to couch those 3 things a little bit as we kind of talk more about what positive psychology really is. So when I say that we are, happiness is under our control, there's not a Pollyanna, like, think yourself happy to that. This isn't about, like, if you can dream it, you can do it, kind of like, just think yourself happy. These are, scientifically researched strategies. They're things that you do. They're not things that you know. If just knowing it isn't going to change your outlook, and just trying to go, I'm going to think more positive, I think that that's actually kind of actively unhelpful, maybe even destructive. So just know that these are strategies or things that you can try to do. And if you are struggling psychologically with something bigger, depression, serious anxiety, any of those other things that may require a professional's help, that the professionals in psychology are typically getting us back up to baseline. These strategies are moving beyond baseline. They're enhancements. They're not solutions. And to mental illness or to struggles that need professional help, still need professional help. These aren't fixes, they're enhancements. And so I want to encourage you, if you need help getting back to your baseline, that you still reach out and find that help. And I also want to encourage you that you just be gentle with yourself. All of us, can we please be gentle with ourselves? You're trying to change. Change is hard in the best of times, and we are not in the best of times. So any move you make in this direction is a positive one. So any choice that you make that is a good choice moves us in the right direction. So if you have a goal to do this strategy for 7 days and you don't, like, just kind of herd yourself back and try to do it right then. Most of the things that we're talking about doing, you can do in 3 minutes. And the more you just do 3 minutes, the better off you're going to be. And you're going to experience the small changes in your outlook and in the outlook of those around you. And just be patient and don't self-criticize if you don't do whatever you meant to do that day. Just herd yourself back and stay the course. Be well, friends. Stay safe. If you're watching this in April 2020, stay home and let me know how this goes. I would love to hear from you. Be well. I'll talk to you soon.